Welcome to my studio. First thing I do when I come down here is I open up these curtains and I let in as much light as I can. And this space, thankfully, it has so much great light in it. In the afternoon, it just pours in and it's so good for me. I love it so much. So I just moved in here a few months ago. This is a downtown studio, currently just a working studio. I'm not open to the public per se, but it has been such a huge shift in my productivity and my focus. And it was definitely the right time for me to make that move. So I'll show you, it's a small space. It's total about 400 square feet. And I have it kind of divided up in zones. So that's the lounging zone. The dog, you can see him over there. That's his couch. That's where my husband will stop by on his way home from work, and the kids sometimes when they stop by to visit. That's a good hangout space. Grandbabies have already watched movies on laptops from that couch, so it's a great little cozy spot. This is a cabinet that I recently refinished. I wanted something to put my plants on. I brought them from the house. They get so much better light here. And I wanted to be able to stash stuff like cups and mugs and that kind of thing. This is a cabinet I refinished recently also. And it's got some treasures in it that I love, just things that I've collected over the years. I have a thing for old cabinets and boxes. So this is just for pretty. This is just for me to look at and enjoy and store my vintage books that I used for collage in here. I always wanted a shop dog. Again, another favorite piece of mine. This is a table I thrifted years ago, and it was up in the attic because I didn't have room for it in our new living space. And so there's a mix of treasures, my treasures, and super utilitarian pieces like this shelf here and filing cabinet. That filing cabinet holds a ton of miscellaneous paper. It's actually my current favorite way to, I'll just show you this because I love this so much. It's my current favorite way to just have like stuff that I want, you know, to easily access, but to have it be loose but contained still. So I use that a lot. It's just nothing cute about it, you know? Super utilitarian space. This is all the kind of stuff that I need, you know, at arm's reach, including class video equipment and stuff. And I really wanted, what I didn't have at home in my own home studio was a place where I could walk up to a wall, a large expanse, and work on a large piece. And so I was really thrilled. This whole corner is basically that for me. I can put pieces in progress up on the shelf and work on them standing. Same thing here, I can work really large. And something that works really well for me also is to have open shelves where I don't have to pull something out of, you know, like if the shelves are too close and I have to pull it out to get whatever's in it or to see what's in it. It's like out of sight, out of mind for me, something fierce. So to have all of this is the stuff that I use the most frequently, have it all open and like I can just stand there and see it all without having to pull any bins out. That works really well for me. So it's very, again, very utilitarian, but it works really well for me. This table, it's a temporary thing. This summer when the weather's better, I'm gonna build a shorter and wider and taller, more like an island. This is just something I had, it's working for now. But again, I like having all my stuff out where I can see it. Fun things that are in progress, like these books I'm working on, pieces of art in progress. I love having paper just out. I'm thinking I might set up a table somewhere that I just dump all my papers out on, and that's just where they live all the time, because that would really help me be able to see it all. And then, you know, I don't own this space, so there were a few limitations. One of them was this wall here, which I initially thought I was going to tear out. The landlord was like, yeah, go for it. But then I realized that's look at how much workable space that is. So we decided to leave it. I'm really happy about that. But because it had a texture on it already, you can see that kind of texture, it wasn't working great for me to paint on. So my husband and I put this plywood on. It gives me a really smooth surface, and it will allow me to nail and screw and staple to my heart's content without starting to degrade the sheetrock underneath. So when I move out of here, who knows when, in years hopefully, that wall will be very easy to, you know, just kind of refresh and get it back to its original state. So there's some pieces in progress. And then when you first come in the door, to the right is what we call my clean room. This is where I have my office space set up. Again, more utilitarian stuff. Lots of utilitarian, not cute stuff, but super functional for me right now. And the thing that one of the things I was most excited about when I moved down here was to be able to pull all my sewing stuff back out. Sewing is one of my favorite pastimes to do just for fun. I just love it so much. I'll make the grandkids clothes. I just recently finished a small kind of lap quilt for my mother-in-law. So just little things like that they're just fun for me. I have a bunch of ideas of ways to incorporate my painting and sewing that I'm going to be playing with soon, so that's really exciting to me. I've got my cutting table right in the middle, which is often kind of a catch-all, but the rule is no painting in here. No paint, no plaster, no anything like that that will make messes in this kind of space. So that's why I call it my clean room. We've got one thing that you will always find in any of my studio spaces is an abundance of chairs. Even if they're ugly, mismatch chairs. And the main reason is because when people come down to hang out with me, like my husband or my kids, I want places for people to sit. So also to have different workstations. This is our leather working machine, and my husband has used it more than I have. He's made little sheaths for himself for tools and whatnot. And this thing, I have some plans. I'm very excited about working with this machine more. And all of my sewing supplies, I can geek out a little bit with a label maker, but it's all just stuff like if I want to do just kind of labor of love projects, this is the kind of stuff I like to have on hand. Again, more little cabinets. I love them, little cabinets and drawers. My machines are out and accessible. This needs a little bit of organization, but I know what each one of those piles is. That's kind of miscellaneous office supply stuff and some tools. And here's one of my favorite things about this space. I have a stand-up desk, which is really important for me to have at my computer, but also I have some things that really inspire me, comfort me, soothe me here, that remind me of just friends. Some of it's friends, some of it's my own work. And it's just, I just really love having this stuff close where I can see it whenever I'm standing at my computer. And also when I'm backing up, sometimes I hit tables. So this is my studio space. When I first got it, it was kind of a dingy yellow color inside. I think it was supposed to be off-white. It had really old dark teal commercial carpet and really ugly curtains on the windows. So I asked the landlord, hey, can I take up the carpet? Can I paint? Can I do all that? And he said, go for it. So this concrete floor is a result of that, of many hours on my hands and knees, scraping and scraping and scraping and sealing, sanding. And I am so happy with how it turned out. It's It's just funky enough that I don't have to worry about keeping it perfect. And then down the road, if he decides he wants to recarpet it after I leave, it'll be a good fresh surface for him to do. And I have plans. There's just outside my studio, you can see there's an awning, these window frames. A lot of that's getting painted black. The door frame, it's all gonna get painted black. I've got a great awning, and what you can't see through this diffusing film is there's just like a big giant gravel parking lot right there. And I'm just imagining soirees and open houses and lots of outdoor spillover space. And even with the limitations that the city has, I know that there's some fun things that I'll be able to do when I'm ready to start welcoming public into this space. And, you know, hopefully some live workshops with a very small group of people, like maybe 4 people. So this is my space. I drive down here. I'm only about 3 miles from home, and it just is such a good practice for me to get dressed, get in my car, and the minute I walk into this space, it's like my mind switches gears, and it's like, okay, what do I want to create today? Maybe I want to create some really good communications with people via email. Maybe I want to create some beautiful art. Maybe I want to create some organization in my mind and with my business and what I'm doing. It just puts me in a different frame of mind than when I'm at home and I'm thinking about laundry and the garden and, you know, all sorts of other things that I love that very easily overlap. I just have to tell you, I've had this ironing board for a million years. Somebody had it for a million years before me, and I just love it. And every time I think about getting a new one, I just can't. It's just like wide, it's metal, it's heavy. I love it so much. It's like, now you know. So I just love this space. I love that it works for me, and it's welcoming, and it welcomes my family, and it welcomes other people, and it's very conducive to me being really creative. So thanks for taking this little tour with me, and I hope when I have it open to the public that you'll come by and visit me.